What
Hey,
up? What's up, man?
it's been a week.
It's been something.
I can't believe where how things have gone in the last 7 days. I can't believe that we at this time we were in Columbus. Hey, Jaden, how are you?
What's up,
Um,
Terry?
Miss Terry, and it's amazing that we are back home. I am glad we are back home. Not
Yep.
that I was disappointed about being in Columbus, but it was it's always great to be back home and seeing everybody again. Hey,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
Lincoln. Yeah, this is you tonight. I'm wearing this, so little supporting you guys out there. I gotta get your shirt in the mail. Lincoln's Toy Show is here. Miss Sandy is here. James is here. Poncho is here. I invited a bunch of people tonight, so
Nice.
hopefully we'll have good turnout, good feedback. We got some things to discuss, and we're gonna do some cardboard carnage tonight. I think we are due for some of that.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
There's Tim Whitmer.
What's up, Tim?
Tim, you are. We got to talk about Tim and what he did for me um, over the course of nationals. But let's get into it. We are back from Columbus. I had a great time. I think you had a great time.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely was a good time.
there was a pillow fight.
No, it
Um,
wasn't a fight. It was a it was a blind side.
yeah. Yes, but it was still pretty damn funny when you think about it. Um, let's see what else we got for tonight. Obviously we're going to talk about that pink skyline sale. Oh, here we go. We have our champion in the house.
What's up, Dale?
Um, I won, yeah, like $5, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were playing poker that one night.
Yeah, one hand I won.
Hey,
I was
money's
happy.
money.
Money is money. Um, obviously, we're going to talk about the pink skyline. We're going to talk about the convention, and then we have to talk about Elmwood coming up too, because we are about 2 weeks away, and we should give a little shout out to the Des Moines folks too. They are next weekend, I believe,
Yep, sir. I believe they are.
Saturday the 22nd. So, what do you want to talk about, or do you have anything you want to share first before we get into things?
I got nothing right off the top of my head, so I guess we can just get started on what is the debacle of the week for the RLC
Yeah,
because
let's.
it wasn't a good outcome for a lot of folks, and I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know what happened. There's no other way to put it. It went haywire. No one could get anything in their carts, and before they knew it, it was over. And it didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it has sparked a very heated discussion that is still going strong. There's over 300 pages of back and forth with this sale. Like I said, I don't know how many they sold, but it went really fast, and it didn't work out for really anybody that I'm aware of. I think one or two people might have snatched it up, but I was hoping that they were going to scratch it and start over again, but it looks like we're not going to get that, and we're just going to be kind of left with, whatever happens, happens kind of thing. So,
Yeah, there's a lot to that. Although I did approve a post for Todd Damer, he actually got his shipped. So
yeah, I seen that.
that's cannot believe it either. Pancho, yeah, I would love to go to New Mexico to the Matchbox Gathering of Friends. That is one of my bucket list trips. So definitely want to do that too. I know
Yeah, most definitely.
Miss Barb went last year and she loved it. She took some positives away that she was going to try to share with CEU folks. So that was cool too. I definitely want to go. Any show, any big caliber level show like that, I'd love to go to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Bot killers, I kind of wonder if this was Mattel's way to get around the bots, was by making everybody pick something else.
But they should
Not
have
likely.
told. But that's just it. Like there was no advance warning. We had no clue what to do, and it shouldn't have to go through all of that chaos in order to try to buy something. I mean, yes, I have one. It's upstairs, but I wanted one to rip open, and I'm not going to pay the $150 or whatever they're up to now going for. It's just not worth it in my opinion. I have a lot of other cool stuff that I'm much happier with. So, you know, I tried to add on an extra, and I didn't get a chance to because it sold out before I had a chance to get to that point. So,
Yeah, I mean, it was all over the place. And then once the word got out that, add the extra item, it went boom like that. It was done.
yeah,
Um, you know, I don't know how much, with some of the issues that were had before convention with the car played into that. I don't know how much of, bots were involved in it. All I know is that a lot of people got to miss out on getting the car. So that
yes.
was not cool. Um, what are y'all's thoughts on this? And, if you got any points you want to add, go for it. This is definitely the time to do that. Um, you know, whether or not they canceled orders, I've seen some of that happening already. But then, Todd's post about his shipping is a good sign too, I think, depending on which side of the fence you're on, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it
Um,
looks like they're doing about $120 to $130 plus on eBay right now. But then again, before they went off, they were doing 200 to 300. So they lost a little bit of their desire. 2000. Okay, that guy's just money laundering. But yeah, there's a lot of 270s, 180s, 220s, 280. So yeah, there were some people that definitely spent some money to try to get that car ahead of the schedule. So, it is what it is. As somebody pointed out, yes, I did not get one. And it's one of the first times that I've ever, been skunked in quite a long time. It's probably been about 3 years since I've been skunked. So let's see. We didn't have to depend on the RCC to get one. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. I mean, Lincoln's toy show, or William, I should say, is right too. That's why they were buying like crazy. But they were all, the cheapest I saw was 165. Most of them were at 2 or north of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, me too. I have just a few minutes to mess around, James, to try to get it at lunch, and I have to be clocked out to do it. So I sympathize with your frustration there on that. So yeah, it's not. I guess it's as fair as it's gonna be. I mean, there's no perfect solution.
If you can put fair and RLC in the same sentence, it's there.
Yeah, I know.
And I think I've said that in the past too. There is no guarantee with the RLC. And even when you buy your membership, it says that you are guaranteed a chance to try and buy one. That's all that they're selling you is a chance to try to buy a car. Whether you get one or not, that's 100% up to them or computers, or I don't know how you even want to describe what the RLC does. Kind of wish we would have tried in case we didn't get lucky to help all our members. Yeah, I was trying. I had both my accounts running like crazy, and I only needed one, so I was hoping that I was going to be able to get an extra one, but unfortunately, it did not. It didn't pan out in my book. So
What I'm really interested to see in is where does this settle out at here in about 6 months or so.
yeah, that'll be
You know,
interesting.
is it going to go, hang around the $100 mark, or is it going to go like the 510 or the Power Wagon and head go to 200 and stay there and keep going. I already have something in my cart for the next sale.
It's not a bad move.
Yeah.
It's worth trying something at this point, But, the thing is, a lot of the stuff that is in the shop for Hot Wheels, it's either stuff I've already got or, I hate to buy something just to try to buy something, but, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, it's not really too surprising because this is what we had to do for the Legends sales too. We had to buy something else in order to buy the car too.
Yeah.
So
Very, very true.
only 5,000 made. Yeah, I could see that. It kind of depends on. Well, it doesn't really convent. It used to depend on convention, but not anymore. So that's strictly a Mattel number. But it would not be surprised by that number because it kind of fits with how many were made for the other convention pieces.
True.
So again, that's a good point there. I got the urge to rip some cars. What else are we, we've got here with this? What can we do to improve the site? I don't know. That was one of my talking points I had for tonight.
I don't know. I mean, they've been trying to fight against, the bots or people hacking the accounts for years. And unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to get ahead of them because you figure as soon as they find the one that they're going after, all they got to do is switch tactics and then they're right back in there again. And they've closed down a loophole that they knew about. So if they invented a new loophole, it's just going to keep going and it's just going to keep happening. Anything to do to stop it?
Yeah, it's that cat and mouse game that, red white hat versus black hat if you're in the cyber world. That sort of thing.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, that's another way to put it too.
It's my favorite analogy, whack-a-mole.
I think they've done a really good job of trying to close the loopholes as soon as they find them, because we really haven't had a really bad sale like this in a long time. It's probably been a couple of years.
Yeah, and as Sandy pointed out, it's not unique to Mattel. We know that a lot of the sneakers and a lot of like the Supreme website and just any website that has that desirable item, and it can be anything. It can be toys, it can be shoes, it can be car parts. It could be a keychain. Who knows? If somebody wants it bad enough, there's people that are already sneaking Spirit Halloween exclusives that are due out in like 6 months. So it doesn't matter if it's a video game or a car, everybody's got to know right away. And on some levels, it kind of takes the fun out of it because then you have everyone that's going out and trying to buy everything just so they can flip it. And that's just an unfortunate, I think, world that we're stuck living in now is everyone has got to have it before everybody else does. So we just kind of are stuck living with that world for right now.
Yeah, as long as there's a desirability, like you were saying, or a collectability, you're gonna have that desire to get as much as you can. Now, once that goes away, then most of that will go away, and it'll just be us regular hoarders. How is
buying convention ticket process, kind of like Pink Skyline, who gets one win. And you're not wrong on that one either. The new process this year for nationals was completely different than anything we'd ever seen. And, by the luck of the draw and the great generosity, we were all kind of able to do what we needed to do. And, hopefully next year when Atlanta rolls around, and for those of you who haven't heard, we are going back to Atlanta for some reason. At least it'll be warmer than it was in Ohio. So, because it was a little chilly. It was actually warmer here in Nebraska than it was in Columbus this last week. So anytime someone uses the argument of, "Oh, it's got to be nice weather," it's out the window. Plain and simple. You cannot use that as a factor for nationals because it was not warm.
Yeah. You know, my thing on the convention tickets process is I think they did as best job as they could given the situation that they had. I mean, even I had some issues with my ticket and some of the add-ons. Heck, I mean, Roy didn't even have a ticket that first day.
This is
You know,
true. I forgot about that already. But yeah,
um,
there was definitely issues. And, like I said, hopefully by the time we go to Atlanta, everything will be fixed or they'll understand exactly how things are, all the tweaks that they made, hopefully everything will be smoothed out. You were fortunate enough to get your cars that you had, pre-ordered for, and you figure Roy was able to get his ticket and everything else. And it wasn't just a select few. There was a lot of people that had issues with their tickets. So at least we know for a fact that it wasn't just specifically two people we knew or anything along those lines. But overall, I think it was a great show, and they did a great job. And I can't wait till we head back to Atlanta. So
yeah, Tim says it was.
warmer than Dallas a few years.
I remember
Man.
the first day I was down there, and it was warm because we talked about going to my aunt's pool, and then after that, it was just like you said, it was a nightmare. Normally we do, but we did not this time. We had to get back home early. We were hoping to try to make it home so that I could get back and spend maybe an hour for Easter, but that did not work out the way I had hoped. So I ended up spending the night at Brent's and then driving home the next day to take care of some things. Brent pretty much crashed, didn't you?
Oh yeah, we pretty much ate, and I fell asleep on the couch, and then I fell asleep again, and then I fell asleep again, and then I slept for 10 hours or 12 hours, and then on Monday I think I slept half the afternoon away and half the night away, and yeah, I'm still on a catch up mode right now on sleep. Actually, it's just, yeah, I'm still playing catch up. So
I was too, and I've had to fill in for a couple of days and come back, and somebody was sick, and I've had to play for that. Now I have to work Saturday, so I can't go and help, which I'm bummed about. The toy show is normally really good, but from what Dell and Will are saying, that it was really good. Um,
dang,
that's where you find the last minute, like you can get some stuff really, really good, hard pieces. I know I got my MEA Cadillac down there.
mm-hmm.
Because we were just waiting in line to go through autographs or something, and you're perusing people's tables while you're doing it, and you're like, oh hey, I'll pick that up or I'll miss that up. So yeah, the toy show is really, I think, a good place to go find deals, and it's a great way for those who don't have tickets that are local to hop in and join in on the fun too. And if there's any convention cards left, you can go through and try to buy some more. So,
Yeah.
What do you think about the toy show?
I always had a good time at them. It's just that last, hey, what else can I spend money on, but I was kind of glad we weren't there because I spent enough money this last week. So, you know, I was at one point I switched from shopping for myself to shopping for other people, and I actually had a lot of fun shopping for other people. So that was a good time. So, you guys see any candy stripers? What was the prices?
Oh God, yeah.
I did see a few. I think the might of the I don't know. I think the cheapest one I saw was $1,000, but I'm not even 100% sure on that because it was so. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it was.
The cheapest I saw was 16. The highest was 2,000, but they were generally in the 16 to 18 range, I think. Um, I really didn't see very many of them. Um, one of the goals I had was try to finish out the ID cards, and there's a great story on that. Um,
It's not a great story.
well,
It was 13 unnecessary flights of stairs.
we did. So after the finale and everything was announced, and we got our stuff and got out of there, we went outside, and Greg says, "Hey, which one you're looking for the Arkham, right?" I go, "Yeah." I look at it, and it's not the right Arkham. It's the Arkham Knight, and I need the Arkham Asylum Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, "Oh no, that's not it." And then this guy on the 6th floor, he has a bunch, and that started off our search and destroy mission as people are packing up
Where we failed
miserably.
And I got some steps and some stairs in. I mean, that was about the only thing I got out of the deal. Burning some calories.
I got red line out of it too.
Yes, you did.
But anyway, long story short, Tim Whitmer and Greg Sully went back to the same room, and they had hit it maybe 15 minutes before we did, and they found it for me, and I got it roped. And meanwhile, we're going up every flight of stairs, and we're like, yeah, do you have any ID cards that are in the cubes? No. Okay, bye. We just
it was like walked in a room and was like, hey, do you guys have any boxed ID cards? I got these 2 over here. You look at them. Nope. Any others? Nope. All right. Have a good night. I'm on a mission. And we literally we started on level 6, and I was the last one standing at level 20, which was the top floor. So, I mean, I went all the way up technically 13 flights of stairs, because there is no level 13, which is weird, superstitious much. But it was a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of rooms and a high speed atmosphere, which was different. I'd never done that before, but it was a good time overall. So, and I was glad that you can now say you're done.
I'm done.
You have joined the 163 ID club. So,
yep, I'm just
not easy to do. So,
Kyle Esquivel has I have a twin mill that I don't have in my possession yet, but I have arrangements for. So once I get that, then I'm officially done. But that was one of my big highlights that I wanted to get done. I got that accomplished. I got the rest of pop culture done because I found my Swedish chef. And then just some odds and ends. I mean, I went to town, really. I was kind of worried.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun. I was being a little bit more conservative there towards the later half of the week. I know that the beginning half of the week I was not being so conservative because I was having fun, and this is a story for another time. But a buddy of mine reached out, and he had something that he knew that I needed for my collection, and it was added, and so my budget went from having fun to I don't have much of a budget anymore. So, but overall, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, we got to meet William.
Yeah, that was a good time. Got to hang out in his room for a little bit.
Yeah, we got we did a T-shirt exchange. I just got to put it in the mail. Let's see, what else were the highlights? I think the line process was pretty bad too. I mean,
I think the one thing that I didn't like about this year's lines is that they were selling the vendor polls all kinds of wonky. Like they did 2 in a row, and then you had to come back the next day to get the next day's one, and it seemed like people were jumping from, they were getting their souvenirs polls, and then they were getting right back in the line, and then getting it in the line for the next sessions. And I don't know, the souvenir line didn't, or not souvenir line, but the vending machine poll, I don't know. I didn't like the process that it worked out to this time. The hours were really hard to get, and there was people that were getting in those vending machine lines ridiculously early, and it just got to the point where you just didn't have a chance. So
Did we get to do any vending polls? No. We got to do 2 autograph sessions. That's how crazy it was. And the lines seemed to start 2.5 hours early just
hmm
to go get your
just to
ticket.
get your ticket to get into the line, just to, basically, like as Ken said, 2.5 hours we sat and waited for the last autograph session that we were going to be there for. And once you got our ticket, it was like, all right, cool. Let's, we can go and we can go get a drink. We can check on the custom contest, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys have seen that live video that I shot, but go back and checked all that out. Dell missed all the vending polls, yeah, and so did we. Um, but thankfully, I was able to get some really cool autographs. I was able to get a couple of limited edition e-sheets that were. One was made by Marsha Walker, and the other one was made by Miss Coco. So I got a couple of cool ones there that were exclusive-y, kind of. They were kind of special ones, and I did get my. For those that weren't watching the show last Wednesday or Friday or whenever we did it,
Yeah,
um,
that's Friday.
I did get my Jimmy head signed. He autographed it across the forehead. So
If we had gotten down here sooner, I wanted to start the show with us holding those up.
yeah, well, mine's upstairs, so I'd have to go upstairs and get it. And I have unpacked the suitcase, but I haven't brought it down here yet.
Oh my.
So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm gonna get it all packed down here tomorrow, maybe tonight yet. But it is what it is. It's a lot to deal with. When you come home from a convention, you kind of just want to sit and relax for a little bit. And there's a Jimmy head.
So for those of you who don't know, Jimmy Lou was the marketing director for Mattel on the Hot Wheels side, and he was the dinner guest, and Marsha Walker and a couple other people were walking around. What's that? Oh, yeah. Not even close.
Right
Not
here.
even close. I think he spent more on. I think I spent more with everything I brought home. Well, the amount I spent that I brought home was probably equal to the one thing that he bought. But it had to. It had to come home.
And it has a twin following later this year. So
yeah. So they were walking these around, and we were able to get one. So as soon as he started talking, because he's not a very big public speaker, we put those up to make him relax. Yeah. I thought it was a pretty cool thing that that Marsha, and I think Coco was the other one that was involved in that too. I'm not sure.
I could see that. I think Marsha had something to do. I know, well, obviously Marsha had something to do with it, but I don't remember. I would see Coco being a helpful hand on that as well. So
some other highlights. I mean, obviously the cars are themselves. We've talked about those. We know what those are. It's the friendship aspect of it that was, I think, a huge deal for me. Getting to see Roy get a hug right away. I thought that was great. And, it's always a plus. Get to see Miss Charity, get to meet Scott's wife, get to meet Dave's new girlfriend as well. And that was pretty awesome as well. Yes, there is a car seat in that car. Who has the best hammering skills? We'll get to that in just a second. Let's see what else was there. Getting to sit down with Dell and have breakfast with him. That was a really, really great time.
Yep.
Audra and Dell, I think they were overwhelmed, but yet at the same time, they were so happy because they got to see a lot of different aspects and different people. But yet at the same time, I felt like they were really in their element too. So yeah, that was really cool. Audra is a fierce negotiator. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, and I was trying to help her spend as much money as I could.
So let's get into the hammering because that
All
was
right.
um, talked about. So we did have the opportunity to film Hardy for y'all again and for everybody out there. Joe did share it out on his page and a couple other places as well, I believe. Um, my money is on Coco. She just goes full force on it,
Mm-hmm.
and she's really good about it, and it's fun. They raised $1,200 for charity
Mm-hmm.
for Children's Miracle Network again. Um, we even had a bid taken in over the internet from Mr. Klein,
Yep.
so that was awesome as well.
I actually got to hit
Um,
a car this year. That was fun.
yeah, how did that go?
It was fun. I felt bad because I mean obviously Corey Spencer makes some amazing things, and when they were like you hit it, I was like no, I'm the camera guy. I'm not supposed to be getting it, But then Mike went ahead and he goes, well, give me your phone, and I handed my phone off, and I got to take a couple swings at it, and I felt bad. I'm not gonna lie. A little inner part of me was just like, I know it's for a good cause, I know it's for charity, and I know it's for fun, but me being kind of the purist that I am, when someone has to hit a car, it's like "Ugh, I don't want to do this," but it was still a good time. So
Yeah, there was some good parts flying. I know this year you did not get hit. You said right.
no, I did not get hit. I did not get any shrapnel this year.
I do remember one piece going almost to. We were in the middle of the room, and it almost made it to the wall. Um,
Yeah, some of them
there.
were getting hit at just that right angle, and they were flying. Look at that. Had a great time, and I'm ready for Atlanta. Oh, she's been bit by the Nationals bug. We tell you,
Um,
you can't do just one of these. It's like, oh, I got to go
no,
back. It's so much fun. I've
the
got
other part.
what's four
Oh,
now?
yeah, 4.
I've
I'm
got
at
four in
6.
person and six total, and you're at six with eight total. So
The other part was those cars really did get embedded into the carpet, but everybody did an amazing job to clean up afterwards. There were no spare parts, and the spare parts did go into the cauldron to be melted down and made into a trophy or welded in there.
hmm
Um, yeah, yeah, Del. I can tell you had a lot of fun, and we got to talk about your win here a little bit too. Yep, you're welcome, Corey. We were happy to do that, and as long as everybody from uh, the Hardy Adams folks wants us to do it, I think we're more than happy to do it.
hmm
Yes, you did try really hard to get that car, and it just didn't work out. And we do hope that you come to Atlanta and maybe you bring some friends with you as well.
hmm
Um, let's talk about Dell and some racing. Dell was on the Sizzler track, and he got into what was it, a 22 car battle royale, I think.
I believe so.
Basically, it's a demolition derby on the Sizzler track, and the last car running wins. And he told me a little bit about it. He said that there was a big crash in one turn, and he was away from it, and that's how he ended up winning the whole thing. But
Nice.
it was nice to see him out there getting a trophy, getting recognized, and the pictures of it. I don't have them yet, but when I do, I will post them up there for you. I know Barb has them, but you can see him going yeah and flexing his shirt a little bit. So it was really cool to see that, and I was happy for Dell. He was having a good
Most
time. He was a
definitely.
big kid up there. Um, you know, what do you guys think about the dinner car? I think there's a lot of controversy about that car. Was it blue? Was it brown? What's on it? So I think I'm going to grab one here. Yeah, here we go. And we did make reference to there is a seat in the back seat of this car.
Yes, there is a baby seat.
Yeah. So, I'm
I
going to
mean,
show you.
I'm just trying to. As much as I like the dinner car and the baby seat and all the Easter eggs and everything that goes along with this thing, I mean, I really do like the wheels. I just wish that there would have been a little bit more attention paid to that underside a little bit. I wish they had tweaked that some way, shape, or form. If they would have went in and applied something or hand painted something or just to hide all that white, because that camo with all that white just kind of, I don't know. It's a little weird for me, but they did a great job. I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy the car. I think it would have been cooler if they had hidden that white a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of special cars, we might as well tease this one as well.
Oh,
Um, for those of you that are recognized chapter members, you attend the chapter meeting. What the heck fell out? Oh, this is
the
a sticker.
sticker.
Yeah. You get one of these. And this was the car that Nick drew for us. This is a 1 of 15.
Tilt it back a little bit.
There we
There
go.
you go.
This is a 1 of 15 Chevy Silverado. This is the newsletter exclusive.
And it
It's pretty.
If you look at this picture and you're like, it's all right. Wait till you see that thing in person. It is stunning. And I mean, it's sharp. The orange really pops on it. The white wheels. It is a gorgeous truck. You know, Mr. Chris Stangler Customs did an amazing job with these, and you know, thankfully that we are lucky enough to, you know, be a club and that the newsletter recognizes the club chapters and stuff like that, and that they give cars away like this, and it will be up for sale. As always, we never keep any of that stuff. It always goes back to the club. So, you know, any legit,
stay tuned.
Yes, any legit recognized by the newsletter gets to, you know, and you got to participate in the meeting too. So there's always that as well. You know, and that works out really well. There was a couple of new people that were going to start up new clubs in the areas where they didn't have anything. So, you know, they were able to get stuff too. So, you know, that's the thing. You know, this hobby is about making inroads and friendships, and you know, having a good time. And you know, the more people that you get to meet and talk to, just the more fun that you get to have at these things. And I know that because of that chapter meeting, we're probably going to have us a live, somewhat recorded interview. I'm not sure how we're going to work that one yet, but there will be a new guest coming soon. $100 for the truck starting bid. It's not for sale yet, but it will be soon.
We do have 2 guests that are going to be on the show. We have the confirmation from both of them, and we might as well let both those names out. You know, Joe Alvarado is going to come back for a second time, and we did get the confirmation that Joe Wiggins is going to be on the show as well. We just have to work out a date and a time with him. It'll probably be a Wednesday, so that we don't interfere with you know, anything that's going on with Double Down and their auction schedules and things like that. Let's see here. You know, let's talk about some of these extracurricular activities that went on. We talked about the Hardy a little bit, but
there was a blister pole liberation.
Yes, the BPLA was going on, and that was hosted by Jeff Warshall. And, you know, there was a pretty nice, good, unique blend of late model red lines and early era black walls in there. So that was cool as also we literally got in there at the tail end of that.
Yeah.
There's some really nice cars in there that got ripped.
Yep, including my Cal Customs Canadian release 59 Cadillac, which is currently upstairs. So, but it will be coming down here and it will find a new home on the walls. So now comes the fun process of what's coming off the wall. So,
yep, time to add more wall space. I like the BPLA because it was just an excuse to rip some cars.
mm-hmm.
I know that's not for everybody, and I get it if you're not into it. I totally understand, but it is just, again, more like-minded people getting together to have their fun and do their thing, and that's what it's all about. It's just having
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
The other event that we got to participate in while that was going on at the same time was Guy's Pizza, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always a
That's always
pleasure.
that's always a good time.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to receive that invite and get to hang out with people from the Ohio Club, the Charm City Club, a couple people from other places down in South Carolina and things like that, and just to sit down, break bread, and eat and discuss what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of designers that popped in there as well, but we have to give a big thank you to Mike Barnes, Greg Sully, and Roy Friend Jr. because they were the ones that they put this together. I was really touched by the speech that Dave Rice gave and what he said, because it was really, really wonderful, because he's just sitting there saying these guys do this for the love of it and to bring camaraderie together, and there's nothing that they want in return. So
Mm-hmm.
I love that speech that he made. So what were your thoughts?
Overall, great event. Always a good time sitting around, hanging out. Anytime that you're sitting at a table with your friends, Hot Wheel designers, heavy hitting customizers, it's a good time. I mean, we had a good table, we had good friends. It was a good time that's always had. And that's the neat thing about it. It's just that's the one thing that I've always said about nationals. My favorite thing is getting to see people. Um, when you only get to see these people for 6, 7 days once a year, you try to make the most of it. You do a lot of running around, you do a lot of shopping, but you also try to hang out in people's rooms and just kick back and relax. I know the night races was a blast. We
Yeah.
hung out with Mr. Leon and Miss Angela for a decent amount of time on one of those nights. I don't remember what night because they all kind of blurred together. I just know it was a late night. But
That was after midnight races.
yeah, I got to meet Bobo.
Mhm.
I got a sticker to prove it. But yeah, it's it's a good time, and I can't wait to the next one.
Yeah, I you got to pick out the race location for midnight races this
Yes, I
year.
did. I found a neat little spot where it was right between two escalators, and I was like, I think this might work. And sure enough, it did. And we got to do night races, and it was a good time. Hey, speaking of Mr. Roy, I started it years ago just to give back to the collectors. Very good.
Yes, and you do an amazing job with it, along with everybody else that helps you.
Hmm.
And I think it's the one of the few events that I look forward to every year.
Yes, I would agree with that. Most
Have
definitely.
vendor
Oh,
shopping. Uh, well, see, that's the thing though, is like, everybody, you got to take a break at some point. You
hmm.
can't have the room open 24/7. It's, you would go insane. It's overwhelming as it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, LA was different. The room seemed to be open earlier and stayed open later.
Yeah.
Um, everybody else is, they're looking for stuff too. And yeah, well, thank you, Roy. I
Yes. Thanks,
appreciate
sir.
that. Yeah, the mafia was very active in this convention. I think Jason and them guys bought out 4 or 5 rooms. I know
I think the highest I saw was 8.
8. You know,
Mhm.
it's just crazy. I think Rich Adams sold out everything he had. I don't know who he sold it to, but he had sold out everything the first day or so. But, you know, if the deal's right, you know, why not? And then that gives you more money to play with to buy things you want.
This is true.
Hey, Brian Nitcher, how are you? You've been pretty
12.
12.
Wow.
Roy says 12. That's insane. But, you know, if you got the money, might as well.
Pretty much.
You know, the night races were a lot of fun. Lots of kids running up and down the escalator, and I'm glad they shut it off because somebody was going to take a header.
Yeah.
Those kids had so much fun, and they took it so serious, and they were laughing and giggling the entire time. And I mean, the best part about it was the guy that raced his dinner car.
Yep. He ran the Sylvia and lost it too.
Yes. Yeah. He raced it 2 or 3 times. The first time it hit the side of the escalators and scraped up the paint real bad. Sent it down again, and he scraped up the paint on the other side. He goes, well, it was an opener anyway. So
Roger Dodger sold for 15,000. Woo, that's a lot. I don't even know what Roger. It must have been a red line, because I don't know of any other ones that would go for 15 grand.
We did see an Air MEA ID card when we were on that search and destroy mission.
Yeah, it wasn't an ID. It was an EMEA gasser.
No, it was an ID.
No, it wasn't. It was the candy cane, I thought.
It was the ID.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wanted $300.
I didn't know it was the ID. I thought it was the candy cane.
No.
Darn, I'd have bought that. Oh, all right. Well, that's all right. I spent it. Like I said, I spent enough money, so we'll just. Whew. I didn't know that.
I should have bought it, but I didn't want to spend any more money. And then
I didn't. I thought it was the MEA. So
then I get up to Koza's room and I end up spending $300 for a Ferrari. So, But we did get the number count. Matt, if you're watching or if you plan on watching at any point, the number count is now at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 red lines are in my collection. So the new number is 22. You know, the midnight races were a lot of fun. Just John Goggles, that's what he goes by on Facebook, or Goggles John from the Northeast Ohio group. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, Tim. I'm glad you and Greg were in there with me because I didn't make a fool of myself. And you were there too.
Yes.
I had to borrow money from you.
It was like an hour loan. It was like an hour loan. So
the midnight races were fun. We just, you know, I think how many people were down there? There was like 50 people or so, right?
There was. I think at one point it was closer to 75. But yeah, there was a lot of people down there. It was definitely a fun time. So.
And you were this close to getting Mark from.
Oh, I know. I almost had him. And if you guys hadn't been rolling up the track, we would have had Mark and Jennifer send a car down the escalators. So close, but it was a great time, and who knows where we'll be next year. I don't remember. Who knows what hotel we'll be in. So missed out on the fun at Nationals. Plan on LA for sure. There you go. I don't think we're going to be rolling to LA this year, but eventually we will be going back to Cali. So
I think we have to at some point.
Yeah.
It won't be as cool as 18.
No.
Because that was such a special week. Lots of good memories made there from that show. And there's pictures to prove it. But like I was talking with Barnes about it, and he goes, I don't think it would ever be the same. You know, that was so, as he said, so perfect that we couldn't do that again. You know,
No,
there's just no way to duplicate that.
no, it was a great week though. That is for 100% for sure. That was one of the best weeks I've ever had.
So we never talked about this. Did you have any disappointments?
The only thing that disappointed me was that everybody kept trying to leak the cars and to show the cars before it was time to actually receive the cars. And for those of you that may not know this, when I posted the picture of the Porsche on our page at the finale night, when I had received those cars in my hand, that was the very first time that I had seen the color and the casting. I had heard it was a Porsche. That was the hardest thing to avoid. But I was able to get to the very end without having anything sneaked for that finale car. So I was very, very happy that I was able to make it through without seeing it, which was really hard because when our room was on the 17th floor and the finale was on basically 3. So I had to go down, basically 13 floors, and there's everybody in the elevator that has their finale cars. So there was a lot of this going on as I'm standing in the elevator just watching the numbers click down. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, check this thing out, and I'm like, nope, 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 So it was fun. Elevators suck. Yes, the elevators always suck, except in LA. The elevators in LA are on point. So, because there's like 15 banks. So,
completely normal for the elevators to be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Completely normal. Bill, anytime you want to talk about that, we will give you Convention 101.
Mm-hmm.
The steps, yes, we did that too. We started out on 20 one day, and we got down to 11 before we did that. Audra was a master at the steps.
Yep. Well, and there was also the the search and destroy mission where we went from level 6 to 20 with taking no elevators. So I definitely got my steps in that night. So
I think the only thing that saved us on that one was we were walking the hall, so we weren't just going up, 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 up.
No, you'd go up and you'd go to the one end, then you go up, then you go back to the other end. Excuse me. Then you go up and you just keep going back and forth. So, but yeah, it's a lot of steps. It's a lot of walking. Wear comfy shoes, plain and simple.
Yep. I think my red ones they made it through 2 nationals, and there'll be time to buy a new pair. Do we want to share anything else? Do we want to share something else we're going to put for sale?
Since I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've only got like 6 minutes before the end of the show.
Well, we'll just share them here real quick.
All right, fine.
I found my other truck. I didn't realize I had sold it to Audra.
No, there you go. Well, at least we're not looking for a truck anymore.
Let's see.
We can go over one time. All right, I guess we're going to go over.
We're allowed. Okay, so the club, through the awesome generosity of Mr. Greg Sully,
of our amazing, amazing friends,
we were able to secure a set of cars. I left a pair of shoes there. So just so that everybody knows, at some point we're going to put these up for sale. Here's number 1. Right here. This is the first car that's going to go up. We don't know if we're going to do them individually or if we're going to do it as a group. Here's number 2. Number 3. is we've already shown this once before, but here we go one more time. We'll have that right there.
What's number
And
4?
then number 4.
Hands down, I like that one better than the Skyline.
Now,
Saying.
what we're saying with this car is everybody seems to think it's black, and I don't think it is. I think it's, I can't tell. I think it's got that blue in it again.
Well, all you gotta do is hold a flashlight to it and you'll be able to tell. It looked black to me.
At first, everybody thought it was purple, but there you go. That's car number 4. Now, these will be, like I said, we haven't decided if it's going to be all 4 together, individually, if we're going to have them down in Elmwood, or if we're going to post them on the site. But there are 4 convention cars here that we were able to secure for, at a later date. So we wanted to share that with y'all.
Yay, exclusive.
We like doing that.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't talked about Elmwood at all yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So, yeah, exactly. 4 convention cars and a newsletter.
Silver. Yep.
If we could have done a pink car, we would have done a pink car. How are convention cars coming? Club cars coming along? They're coming along pretty nicely. We do have rough pictures for them, but we have not shared those yet. There is still a couple there's a couple things that need to be added. We have wheels picked. There is some coloring that needs to be done yet. And we are shooting for August to have those done.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Evan, what's going on?
Hey, well, welcome. Thanks for coming on. I hope you had a good practice. So, in Elmwood, we will be having an announcement of some time that we're not going to share here. We're going to save that for Elmwood. We'll also announce the sale for the Silverados and the convention cars as well. So we'll be doing that there. Obviously, we'll have our 50-50 raffle. I need to get with Mike Starr, but tentatively, we have 2 cases unopened of mainlines that will be available as well.
Nice.
We will have a vendor giveaway again, and we will also be taking donations to do the 2 children's hospitals, the one in Sioux City and the one down in Omaha. Elmwood's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see, what else do we have here? So we have, I think right now, I counted 58 tables sold. But we are having interest. I think 3 more today went. So I think that puts us at 61. And our total was 65. So you'll be seeing an update on that here pretty soon too.
Almost sold out.
Yep. And Terry is saying we are doing an awesome job on charity cars, but we're going to need some donations of small gifts for Christmas. So if you want to do that, that's great. We'll be happy to accept those. We just want to make sure when we do our Christmas show that, no kid gets left behind or without something.
Mm-hmm. No kid goes without.
Let's see. James, if you want to come on down. It's a short hop off of I-80. Yes, if we get tickets,
we'll be there.
We'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the operative word. Be there. Um, oh, we have a coloring sheet from the Nationals too that was given to us by Barb that we can make copies for and do some coloring just for fun or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, no kid got left out. That's the important part. Um, we were also approached about doing some stickers, and we are just have to get a design to that person.
Mm-hmm.
They also somebody else that's attached to that person also hinted at wanting to do a T-shirt collaboration. So,
Ooh, new
oh,
surprises coming. Don't give
yep.
everything away, man. Come on.
Well, I'm just saying little things.
I know, but don't give everything away. We got to have something for the next show, man. Jeez.
We will be doing setup on Saturday from I think 2 to 5 is what we were looking at.
I think somewhere
It
around in there.
could be flexible. Um, so anybody that wants to help set up tables, we'll be starting that at 1, maybe a little bit earlier. Just be on the lookout on the page for more information on that. We could always use extra help and volunteers that want to set out tables and get things going. So we'll get all of that together. 8 o'clock will be normal load in time on Sunday. Doors open to the public at 10. There will be food from the Quonset folks as well. So please go out and support them as they're doing their thing as well, since they are such gracious.
It's always good food. So.
And Evan wants to be the target if he comes.
All right, there we go.
All right. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything that we missed?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So just a reminder, we have some shows coming up. April 22nd is the Des Moines show for those folks. Then we are after that, April 30th, down in Elmwood. And I think May 7th is Brad Beebe's Lincoln Toy Show.
Mm-hmm.
Did any ducks show up in Columbus? No, we were not given any ducks.
Nope, not a one.
We did not make any. None of them made it out on a trip either, but maybe they'll fly south.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we got to get tickets. That's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, thank you all so much for tuning in and watching us while we were out there. I know we had to improvise and adapt on some of the show schedules and whatnot, but thank you all for watching and hanging out on the page. We do this for you guys, and I think it's time to open some cars.
Most definitely.
I found one I want.
I have one of my finds.
So do I.
But did
you see it?
Mm-hmm. I know what it is because I was there.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you as well, Lincoln. You want to go first? There you go.
2011 Demolition Derby Racing Kit featuring the Montezuma and the Thunderbird Stalker. There's your Montezuma and there's your Thunderbird. And there's the price that I paid for it. $8. That's nothing for these. I've seen similar sets go for $50, $60 a piece. So this is the kind of deal. This is the kind of deal that you want to get at Nationals. Stuff like this is cool. The package, yeah, sure, it's coming off a little bit on the bottom, but with a little bit of pressure, oops, you can just do that, and then you can slide out the little sleeve. And you can take this and throw it over there. So you get a little play set. And you get a stack of tires, apparently. because if I can get the tires out, you always need a little stack of tires. And then we'll start with the Thunderbird, which is, wow, that's actually really sharp. It's got the El Segundo Demolition Derby, and it just has skull. It just looks really cool. I like the red wheels with the black. It looks really sleek, really good. Rolls good. And now for the best one, in my opinion, is the number 19 Hot Wheels Montezuma El Camino with the orange wheels in the front and white in the back. It is just a sharp looking car. I'm excited to have this one in my private collection.
I like that casting.
Yes, I do as well.
Hopefully they do more with it. Okay, so for me, other than the ID cars, I think this was kind of one of the best surprises that I got to find. And he did a little tease there.
It's the last time.
Those of you who don't know, this is the 2013 Nissan Skyline GTR from Fast and the Furious with the black wing. So this is before they changed the casting and made the all solid metal wing. Now, for those of you who don't know, Brent has this car carded and loose, and he has tortured me with it almost as bad as that Datsun wagon. And he said, well, you can have this one if I have another one. Well,
I haven't found another one yet.
He hadn't. So I found one in a room. Guy had it marked for 15. I got it for 10. And then about 30 minutes later, I found it in another room for 5.
Yeah, that was funny.
I didn't grab it. So here is my car for the night. The Nissan Skyline GTR from the Fast and Furious with black wing. So this would be original, the first casting. Oh, no.
What's wrong with it?
It's an error.
Why?
Look at the windshield.
Oh, Lord, the windshield's falling out of it? Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it never. Well, I'm back on the hunt. Trade?
Okay. Oh, Lord, that's crazy.
And this is what happens when you get excited.
See, now I can do this too, though.
Yeah, but that one I pretty much got. It's waiting for me in Kansas.
But it's not here.
I know. That's all I had for the night.
That's all I got too. Oh well, I guess the hunt continues. No, I didn't.
Yep. So that's all I've got for the night. We will see you in the next coming weeks. Lots of great shows out there. The weather's getting better. Go hang out with some friends. Go come say hi if you see us. And just keep doing what y'all been doing. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.